I guess if we're going to billboard this program by talking about Bobby Carpenter and the Los Angeles Kings, we really would have to include Tiger Williams' name as well, because only minutes ago, just as we were getting set up to do this down here, we had an unusual incident at the other end of the ice where some fans, I think, must have been getting on Bob Carpenter because their shouts and their taunts got to be so loud that Tiger Williams of the Kings picked up a puck and threw it into the crowd, and when the fan picked up the same puck and threw it back, Tiger climbed the boards. He had one leg over the glass and was ready to go into the crowd before Capitol Center security came back and restrained the fan and restrained Tiger Williams. Now, Tiger Williams is not the guy you want to mess with on or off the ice, but at the same time, was that something that it looked to you happened just in defense of something said to Bobby Carpenter, or was somebody after Tiger?
Well, we couldn't hear it clearly, but what I was able to hear is what you mentioned earlier, fans really getting on Bob Carpenter and using some very abusive language. One thing to boo, one thing to scream and yell at him, but when you start cursing at a guy, you know, that's really hitting below the belt. And I can see where you got a guy like Tiger Williams who will stand up for his teammates on the ice, says he might as well do the same thing off the ice as well.
Let's talk about the rivalry in more rational terms now. Once the game gets going, Bobby Carpenter's reception here tonight will not be a good one.
No, it was proven when he came back twice with the Rangers, the fans were ready for him, and Carpenter made some statements that you can understand why the fans would be upset. Thought he didn't show a lot of class when he left town in the manner he did, but he is now in his third uniform of the years we mentioned, and I'm sure the fans are really going to give it to him again to try and rub that psychological edge the Capitals' way and put that knife in a little further. Without Playfair, without Langevin in the lineup, the Kings need some big defensemen back there. Laidlaw can bang. Laidlaw can hit people when he wants to. Remember last year, the Rangers and the Capitals in the playoffs? He certainly did the job there. Here you see that little incident. Tom Laidlaw coming over there with Tiger Williams shooting a puck, then throwing a puck at a fan, the fan throwing the puck back at him, and Tiger trying to climb over the top to try and get at him. Good way to begin this game with a lot of emotion.
Phil Sykes tries to center, a collision, and Bourne crashes into goalkeeper Bob Mason, but the puck doesn't enter the net. And both players appear to be unhurt.
5 of his 12 goals have come against Washington. Another good play by Scott Stevens. You see him dive out there, get the stick on the ice to prevent the pass-through of the streaking Bob Bourne.
Well, remember, Al Jensen is a man who was always very cooperative with us as far as our broadcast coverage. Galley's drive goes wide, a shot, and a goal on the rebound off the backboard.
Langway throws it to Galley, who unwinds with a drive, a one-time shot. Just wide, but Melanson still following the carom of the puck, cannot get his body turned around in time, and Greg Adams is there to put the Capitals on top.
Down the middle, a wrist shot, wide from Fox. Duchesne back of the net. Into the corner he goes after it and centers, but Wells knocks it away. Gaetan Duchesne bumped off the puck by Nicholls. Now here's Kelly Miller, a shot and a goal! Sends it across the line, back into the corner. The play's still onside, though. Of course, yeah. The puck came across the blue line. Here's Nicholls. Tries to get past Christian and does. Stops at the right point. Flips it in front. It goes into the net.
Problem of miscommunication.
Los Angeles goal.
There you get to see Hatcher was nearby. He certainly could have reached out and done something with it.
There's the Tiger. Heck of a nice guy.
He really is. You know, he's got, everybody thinks of him as just an absolute nut. And he does some crazy things on the ice, but he's a colorful figure. He's the type of guy that, you know, the game of hockey really needs in regards of promotion. Guy you come out to talk about and see.
Dan Fischler has a quote in a column in this most recent issue of the Hockey News that says he's never met a roughhouse player in hockey that he didn't like. All the tough guys are always great guys off the ice. Leaves it for Bob Gould. Gould spilled in the corner. Again, Tiger Williams. Out to center. Onto the stick of Franceschetti. Franceschetti piled into along the sideboards by Steve Duchesne. Erickson charges down the middle. Stevens takes him. The shot blocked by Scott Stevens. Throws it behind the net. Now Gaetan Duchesne run again. This time Dean Kennedy goes after him. Play has been called, and Lou Franceschetti wants to talk to a few members of the Los Angeles Kings.
Mike Ridley did a great job of coming back and picking up the trailer, Dean Kennedy, and not letting Kennedy get in scoring position.
Here's a lead pass left side. Tiger Williams is in, but can't get a shot away. The rebound is tipped wide of the net, and Langway sends it all the way down the ice. And now we've got some action in the corner as Langway and Tiger Williams talk it over.
That's that same spot where Tiger Williams had some trouble with the fans earlier in the pregame warm-up. We talk about him shooting a puck at the glass and throwing a puck at a fan and trying to climb up into the stands. Well, this is with Rod Langway down there.
Tiger seemed more upset with referee Mike Noeth once he had a chance to speak to Langway. Whatever they had going apparently was resolved. Melanson covers up, and Williams now involved in keeping the Capitals away from the Los Angeles goal. Gaetan Duchesne and Dean Kennedy discuss the play. Well, whenever something like that happens, Jimmy Thompson's the guy you want to have around. Just came up from Binghamton and certainly spent enough time in the penalty box down in that American Hockey League city. He has already gone from 18 minutes to 35 minutes in the NHL, thanks to just that one game against St. Louis the other night. Here's Adams to the corner. Chases it behind the net to Craig Laughlin. In front for Smith. He's alone and he's tied up. It's on the goal line. A shot and a goal! They like to keep those hockey players in Minnesota. And many good ones still go to school there. Hatcher is down. He is hurt. Greg Smith jumps on top of the man who hit Hatcher. And we've got a wrestling match going now as Greg Smith is all tied up.
With Bernie Nicholls.
Pat Capuzzo's the only man in there. And now as Gord Brosiker arrives on the scene and pulls Smith away, Smith came right to the aid of Kevin Hatcher, who I believe had been dropped by Nicholls just inside the Washington zone.
See, Kevin Hatcher, I think he'd gotten a stick in the face, if not an elbow. Just caught the tail end of it watching Hatcher drop. Now number 9 is Bernie Nicholls. Keep an eye. Boy, he's got that elbow up high.
That's a shoulder right into him, right into his face.
And now again, members of the LA Kings at that side of the glass getting into it with Washington Capital fans.
I never knew there was one section in this building that really had a dislike for Carpenter more than any other.
Well, Tiger Williams is out there now yapping at Greg Smith. That won't take long with Jim Thompson right there. If Tiger really is interested in getting something going, he's got a willing participant with number 37. Kevin Hatcher has something to say to Tiger Williams. Tiger's nonstop, isn't he?
Greg Smith has been excused from the game at this point with 4:15 to go in the second period. I would think that's just carry over into the third period. I don't think he's been kicked out of the game.
Now, will Bernie Nicholls get anything? I couldn't see if the elbow came completely up. You could see the shoulder and the effort to get the elbow up on Kevin Hatcher, but I don't know if he fully got it.
Well, he had to jump pretty high to get all the way up to Hatcher's head.
Yeah.
Mike, he just told you I didn't do a thing. Mike! Mike!
Roughing.
He just told you I didn't do a thing.
2 minutes for roughing. Over here, 5 minutes
Mike,
for
that's
fighting.
a gutless call.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, he's gone off to the dressing room. He'll just come back and serve his own penalty at the beginning of the next period. Bernie sits in for 2 minutes,
Mike!
and they both go on the clock.
Mike!
2 and 5, right? Yeah. Roughing and fighting.
Well, the Caps big losers in this situation.
Bernie Nicholls of the Kings, 2 minutes for roughing. And number 19, Greg Smith of the Capitals, 5 minutes for fighting.
LA will end up with a 3-minute power play as he crossed in front of Jay Wells. Here's Bernie Nicholls coming back to Ledyard, fires and scores. Grant Ledyard. The Kings come out. Tiger Williams on the right wing. Nicholls across the line, drops it to Williams. He scores. He blasted a bullet right past the stick side of Bob Mason. And Los Angeles has tied the game. Over to Lachlan, back in his own zone for Murphy. Played by Mason off the boards. Now here's Nicholls flipping it toward the net. Stevens moves it to the point. Nicholls walks in again. He shoots and scores. Nicholls gets this one, and the Kings move into the lead. Ledyard is 13th, Williams his 15th, Nicholls his 26th. In the span of 30 seconds, the Kings have turned around a 3-1 Washington lead, and now Los Angeles owns a 4-3 margin. And that's going to be all for Bob Mason. Pete Peters comes in now. Peters roadblocks behind the goal, coming in without any sort of warm-up or any stretching to get ready. Gartner and Lukowicz push and shove. Up the boards, Lachlan jammed up in the corner. Kelly Miller back to try and move it along. Played to the point. Murphy has it. He drives on goal. Adams a shot and a goal! Ago, Greg Adams was out with a collapsed lung. Tonight, he scores a hat trick, and the Capitals have tied the game at 4-4. Mike Noeth has the last word. He is the referee for this game. Tiger Williams and Lou Francischetti start to push and shove now as they jockey for position on the faceoff. It was a high stick play in which Langway had knocked it down with a stick held above the shoulder, meaning that when a Capitals player touched it, the whistle would blow. But the Caps waited, Bobby Gould waiting until the Kings were able to get possession. Francischetti throws a hit in on the corner boards against Tom Laidlaw. Now here's Gould trying to dig it free.
Fans continue to prepare for Bob Carpenter's returns to the Capitol Center.
Here's Tiger Williams centering. Nicholls picks the top corner. Pretty play for Los Angeles. And Bernie Nicholls and Tiger Williams have really put on a show here tonight. The Kings are back in the lead at 5-4.
People starting to clap, but you're right, the noise level in St. Louis with over 16,000 people was deafening in a real close game. It seems like the LA Spurt has certainly taken the wind out of not only the Capitals, but the crowd as well. Most people just sitting around right now pretending it's Edmonton.
Thompson again throws his weight around out there, and this time bumps Robitaille. Lachlan across the line, over to David Jensen, back to Craig Lachlan, wrist shot, glove saved by Melanson, and he hangs on. Didn't like Greg Adams being in so close, but it was not anything intentional. Out to Kelly Miller, sent back into the Kings end, and Bobby Gould racing in trying to pry it free. Pile up in the corner. Gould is knocked down on the play on a hard hit from Ledyard. Time running out on the Caps. 10 seconds to go. Here's Murphy behind the net. Passes too high for Gartner. Nicholls sends it off the boards. 5 seconds left. Stevens back in his own zone. He can't clear it. And the Capitals draw boos from this crowd here as they are beaten tonight by the Los Angeles Kings 5-4. The Kings sweep the season series over Washington 3-0. The Capitals not accustomed to that. They had won the last several season series against LA before being swept in this one here in 86-87. And some big performances from Bernie Nicholls, who had a hat trick tonight with 2 assists, and Tiger Williams, who is on the score sheet with a goal and assist, but just did a marvelous job of harassing the Capitals at both ends of the ice. And some key performances by some other players like Jimmy Fox, who also had 2 assists and played a fine game out there for the Los Angeles Kings. A hat trick for Greg Adams tonight, but in a losing cause as the Kings win 5-4. Jeff Rimmer's standing by downstairs right now with a man who's certainly my star of the game tonight, Tiger Williams. Jeff?
Thanks, Mike. Tiger Williams, certainly one of the strong Los Angeles Kings, and a come-from-behind victory. And Tiger, the Kings have had some trouble on the road this season. You break a 9-game losing streak with a pretty big win here tonight.
Well, I think we've played well against the Capitals all year. We beat them 3 times, and 2 coming in tonight's game, and I don't see any reason why we should come. We play well in here, and we played well on the road, and things haven't gone that well for us. In the first period, I thought we were all over. And myself, I was in once in the first, once in the second, and I had a breakaway again in the second, and we just haven't had any luck. And tonight we got a few bounces, and things went our way. It was a good game.
What about the trade now? What does that do for this LA Kings hockey club?
Which trade?
Which trade?
Well, I think, it was a shocker, but Marsh is gone, and we think, I believe, myself, I'm going to help Carpenter get back to a 50-goal form, and Tom Laidlaw is very steady, played very steady tonight, and we needed that on defense because of our injuries we got with Playfair and Langevin and Redmond, and so they come up big for us. And Carpenter's got a lot of ability, and things just haven't went well for him this year, but we're going to make sure he finishes strong, and I think he'll be a big part of the LA's organization, and I'm going to make sure of that.
Tiger, I know you go out of your way to help some of these younger players in the National Hockey League. We can talk in terms of your character. You certainly got a reputation around the National Hockey League. But to me, my way of thinking, I saw Bobby Carpenter play with a lot more confidence. You try to set the tone even before the game with some of the hecklers?
Well, yeah, we had one jerk that was all over Bob tonight, and you don't do that to somebody on my team. I don't care if you're in the fans or not. And we straightened him out right away. And and the fans are there to yell, but to yell obscenities and to yell very ignorant things, is stupid. Especially, here's Carpenter, one of the first American kids to ever score 50 goals, and he comes back to the capital of this game with us Canadians controlled, and you got some American jerk treating his own countrymen like a dirtbag. The guy was an ignorant thing, and we straightened him out, and I think that really helped Bob tonight.
All right, good luck to the LA Kings. Hope you make the playoffs.
Thank you. We're in the playoffs for sure, Jeff.
All right, Tiger Williams, the outspoken as always, and certainly one of the big players in tonight's hockey game.